You can barely see me. Such is life on the road. Um, Somebody in the comments let me know if you can hear me. Hey Murph, can you hear me? Well, I am 20 miles north of the South Carolina border at a Panera with my dad. We are making our way from Connecticut to Florida. And we had, of course, lots of rain and traffic today, leaving DC. We went to visit my great uncle Harry's grave in Arlington Cemetery this morning, and of course, that took a little longer than we anticipated. So we got some traffic, and so now we're at a Panera, and hopefully everyone can hear and see okay. Just a couple quick announcements before we dive right into this card class. That the promo at CM is still going on. Ooh, the buy get promo. And many of you took advantage of that last week when it first came out. But it is still happening right now. So if you missed it and you don't know what I'm talking about, go to creativememories.com. I don't think I can share that from my iPad. So I'm like half on the screen here, but I think my father said, "Oh, you've done this before, right?" Because I'm struggling on the road, and I said, "Well, at home I have everything all set up in the studio, but I am not home." I thought possibly there was a small chance I'd be home, but not till tomorrow. So anyway, welcome for those of you who are joining us for the first time. Karen, welcome, and some of you. I think my dad's going to play some solitaire. Let's shuffle it. Anyway, those of you who are used to this Hot Mess Express, and this is just another day in the life. But for those of you that are new, welcome. Don't go away. It's going to be so fun. Hopefully, you're not getting much background noise. I do have my earpods in, so hopefully um, you'll have a better noise cancellation in this environment. All right, well, let's get to it. Let me remove myself here. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, is that better? I don't know where I'm hearing myself from. Is there an echo? Yes, there's an echo. Wow. Why can't you really mute this? Okay. And just let me know if there's an echo. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Okay, perfect. Hopefully you'll be able to see okay. How many miles have I traveled, Stacy? Well, it's like 1,200 from Connecticut to Florida, but of course I started last week from the retreat in North Carolina and drove from the retreat in North Carolina to Connecticut. So I would say about 2,000 miles in the last week. And of course, that many of you know, like last one's card kit was in Maine. Of course, I came home from Maine, and then had to leave again. Okay, so I'm not sure. Those of you if you've got the kit, you should be able to open up your kit now and slide that out. Those that were on the retreat with me in, thanks Stacy for that encouragement. Some of you were with me at the retreat in North Carolina, so you actually kind of, I think I said this last time, saw the sausage was made, so to speak, as I was cutting everything and putting everything together. Our first card on the kit here is the turtle card, so that's this one. And of course, you would think I put this together a month ago, but it was just, a little over a week ago that I was assembling these, but I forgot what order. I just want to make sure that you can see everything here. So what you're going to need is this base. Yours will not, I don't think yours will have a hole in it. But it should be pre-scored here where the fold is. So this is what the completed card is going to look like. It is a fun fold-ish. It starts out as a long cut 8.5 by 11, and then you're just trimming off the edge of it, and that's what this piece is, kind of just turned sideways. So it's a really easy card base to make, but it's a lot of fun. So in your kit, you will also have and need one of the new chalking pens. It does have two sides, and we're going to use both sides in the card class today. And if at any point you have questions, or if I'm going too fast, just yell. All right, so you should have a little packet of sequins, and you can just put that over to the side. And then you should have your little collection of items that you need for the turtle card. So you should have a white piece. Again, this teal piece, which is actually the other half of part of your card. And then 2 pieces of printed paper, some lily pads, a turtle, and a sentiment. All right, so now it's time to kind of assemble these. Like I said, yours should not have I don't think anyone's but mine has a hole in the bottom there. So you can go ahead and attach the white piece down to the base of the card. And you just want to leave about 1/8 of an inch around so that it looks like that when it's closed. But you can, so you're going to write your sentiment on the inside of the card there. Now we're going to take our pen. We're going to use the small end, the 1 millimeter end. Now what I did is I kind of started my dashes and dots from right here so that I knew when I was going to write in the card kind of where the part that was covered up is, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to leave it kind of closed and start with, and I like a dash dot, but maybe you just like all dashes, or maybe you don't, like a stitched effect. I'm just going to kind of go around. And just do a dash dot. And we are going to use this pen in a variety of different ways that I think you're going to like today. So once you get your little dash dots, dash dots. Then I'm going to come and I'm going to do the same thing on this sentiment here. And I'm going to go all the way around the whole thing. And if you're hearing background noise, as a reminder, if you came in late, I am in a Panera somewhere off 95 in Lumberton, North Carolina, actually. All right. After you're done with that, you can kind of put the chalking pen to the side. And we're going to finish assembling the rest of this card. So you have 2 sheets of printed paper, and you're going to take the thinner one, and that's what's going to go to the front here of your card. And there are 2 options on this paper, and this paper, I should mention, is from the Serene collection from Creative Memories. All the paper and embellishments we're using are from that. So I am using the stripe paper for this other piece, this other section up here, and I'm using this kind of multicolored paper for here. And if you're new, this is one of those times where, we've got some 2-sided paper, so you have a choice to make. This is where you can kind of make your card unique if you like, or you can just go ahead and do it. Thanks, Rosie, for that tip. I did just see that that's new. Aw, well, then, Deb, you may know this Panera right off the exit here. Now, with this piece, what I decided to do was a little tearing situation. Okay. So to get a nice edge like this on your tear, so you get that white core on the printed. Now, it's solid core cardstock, so you're not going to get a white edge on the cardstock, but you will get that nice ripped edge. So what you're going to want to do is hold it like this, and you're going to pull up towards you with this hand and away down with the other hand. And that's how you're going to get that nice kind of ripped edge. And you really just want to take off like a tiny little bit. And the same with this piece here. Otherwise, your mat is going to be off a little bit. So you're just going to take off about 1/4 inch. And you don't have to do it together, like so that the rips match necessarily. I just like a ripped paper every now and then. And so those are going to go together like that. So you can attach that. And once those are attached together, you can go ahead and center it in this piece here. Oh my goodness, Rosie, I'm just reading your comment. Was that when you were driving? So likely you needed that. See, we're almost to our stop. We're staying in Florence tonight. So because of the traffic, I mean, I had intended to do this from the quiet of our room in Florence, South Carolina. And of course, you know how that goes, but best laid plans between our different delays. Now, I did use dimensionals in the turtle only. So before you stick anything down, you might want to, here's my completed, I'm going to go off to the side here. That way you can see it. I've got the lily pads kind of going straight up. I've got this sentiment down here in the corner, and then I've got the turtle overlapping the sentiment a little bit. And it is popped up with dimensionals. And then we're going to get our bright green sequins out and kind of, you can add those where you like. Of course, what do I need? I need my dimensionals. But I just realized my glue pen is in the car. So I might have to come back and add in fact, I know I'm going to have to come back and add my sequins. So let me add these lily pads. Yes. Yeah, absolutely, Deb. And it was my Uncle Harry passed away in 2017, so it was the first time my dad and I had seen his grave marker, and I'm very glad that we didn't stop. I just noticed that I needed to rip off a little bit more of that. And as always, I appreciate you all being flexible with me as I am. This summer is a little bit crazy. I think I mentioned last week that now I have to make one more trip up to the Northeast this summer. The last weekend in August is when I'm moving April into her apartment in New York City. So it was going to be the weekend before that, which meant I was going to have to come home from the retreat in August and then basically turn right around and go back up. But I've gotten a reprieve of a week. So that is very nice. All right. Well, this cute little card is almost done. I like to just dump out my sequins so I can see what on earth is going on. And is it true? Are these headphones really noise canceling? Because I feel like now that it's 5, it's noisy in this place. So you can just take your sequins, kind of spread them around. You know me, I like to make like a triangle with them. You might have to separate them out. My greens were kind of buried. The placement of my sequins is different than on my sample. So you just kind of do what looks good to you. I'm going to try using the repositionable because I just hate not sticking these down. And I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I'm putting it on the sequins, which is interesting. I just feel like putting it on. I guess that works. The precision point adhesive is definitely the best tool for this job. But went en route to Florida, and I'm going to have to come back to that. All right. All right. Well, that little fun turtle card is done. Hopefully, I didn't lose anyone. And if it's good, kind of wishing now I had got a table by the window. Our next card is going to be this fun Have a Picture Perfect Day, the little clownfish. And I see some of you, I just am catching up on Rosie's comments too. I don't know why they're coming in all crazy, but that's okay. That's a thought. That's something to solve another day. We're doing the clownfish next. And thank you. I see that some of you have commented, shared. Last Tuesday, someone mentioned that they weren't in the drawing, and I went back and looked, and I noticed that they hadn't commented, shared. So if you So in order to be in the drawing, you do need to share and also comment share. And then you'll be entered to the drawing. There won't be a 10 o'clock tonight. It's just going to be at 5 today. Or whatever time it is, whenever we're done. All right, and here I am just talking and assembling. Okay, so this one is very easy to put together. The only tricky part you need to be aware of is that this little square is like it overlaps one direction, but not in all 4 directions because this piece is so thin. All right, so what I would suggest is that after you attach this piece, and it is 2-sided, but likely you're gonna probably want to go with the screen side. This paper from the Serene collection is so beautiful. All right, so after you put that down, you're gonna probably want to go close to this thick bottom edge. And the reason why the sentiment is have a picture perfect day is because it looks like a Polaroid. Hopefully you got that. And so I put adhesive right up to the edge so that it would catch this. Now you do have a choice on this one. You've got these little cute fishies, or you have just this this green, subtle green pattern. And I chose the subtle green pattern originally. But if you want to go with little fishies, of course, that is crafter's choice. All right, so whatever way you want to put it, just make sure, again, 2 of the sides are going to be like just right over the edge, and then one of them is going to be a little, give you a little bit more of a lip to stick to. But after you kind of get it in place, you can add adhesive to the back of this little background piece so that it all stay together. And I did put it on kind of at an angle, not kind of, but at an angle, kind of touching the white edges of the card. And then this piece will go right along the bottom. Now, if you want to go around and trim it down, you can. If you want to make it a little thinner. Oh, good, Stephanie, you got here. Hopefully you got my email, and hopefully you have your kit, and all is well in the world. Now, those of you that have the kit from last month or the month before, you may have some orange ink, Tim Holtz ink, or maybe you didn't have the card class, but maybe you just have some chalking ink, some orange chalking ink, and you might want to give this piece depth here. I kind of just let it blend in to the background. You could also raise it up if you wanted, but I'm just attaching it flat onto the bottom of this Polaroid here. And then the fish and the seaweed, I kind of tucked, not kind of, now that I severely taped down this side, I tucked this under, and this one I kind of tucked in from the side so that your little fish are kind of swimming through. Now, it'd be great if I had an anemone for them to swim through, but this little coral, could be some green coral that they're swimming through, is fun. All right, so I like to always lay it out first and kind of see how I like it, and then I'll go back. So I have this little clownfish kind of swimming through, and his tail is kind of swimming through. You might want to switch it up and have the little one kind of coming out this way. I did pop up the little fish, so maybe you want to have the little one swimming through and pop up the big fish. But however you you put it on will be cute and adorable. And I think I'm just going to do it the way I originally did it. Don't forget to, once you get it all placed, to add your adhesive. And I like to have it come up above the picture. Kind of is like the picture coming out at you. And I'm going to add this one. I'm only kind of putting it toward the bottom edge because I want them to kind of lift up. And then I am going to attach the little one with dimensionals to kind of prop it up a little bit. Oh, well, I'm so, goodness, Stephanie, I'm so, gosh, well, there goes USPS tracking for you. It said it got delivered on Friday. So I'm so glad that it arrived in the nick of time and that you found your way here. I'm going to move this one up a little bit. All right. So after you get your fish the way you want them, your fun little clownfish, then you can go and add your, I just lost a. So you should have 5 of these, and I like it to cluster them in a like a triangle kind of, and I like an odd number. So maybe like that for this one. And I would be normally using my precision point adhesive for that, but since I do not have it because it is in the car, and normally I forget things in Alive all the time, and I just, I say, hold please, and run off into my workshop and get whatever it is I forgot, but my car is a little far to do that. Well, that worked. If you don't have precision point adhesive, you can use just the regular tape runner. You just have to fold it. It's definitely easiest to use the precision point adhesive. But if you're in a bind, if you find yourself in a Panera off I-95 without your precision point adhesive, then you can also just you can use your regular tape runner. All right. Well, next up is this fun card. And this card says, "Don't look back; you'll miss what's in front of you." And I thought that could be used for a variety of things. And by the way, if you're hopping on here late, don't worry. I was late too. Number one, this is the 3rd card, but jump in with this card, and most of you know that your cards are arranged in the stack in the order that we're doing them. So you can just hop on down to the 3rd card, jump in there, and then the replay will post immediately, and then you can go back and do the 1st and 2nd card. All right. So don't look back. You'll miss what's in front of you. I don't know. Maybe you have a friend who's going through kind of a hard time and would appreciate this card. Maybe they went through a big kind of life change, a move or a divorce or something. I don't know. It's kind of a different type of card. And then of course you can also just omit this. And if you are a stamper and you have stamps, you could flip it over and you could stamp a different sentiment on the back, or you could just write a sentiment on the back. I liked the sentiment because all the fish on the bottom are swimming this way, This fish is swimming the other way. So that's kind of my inspiration for that one. So it's a little. This orange is definitely bright, but most of it is getting covered up. I just left a tiny. I mean, it is a very thin mat on this orange. Of course, if you love orange, you might want to trim down this piece. So again, you have an option. If you don't want to use the fish side, you could use the green side that we just used. But of course, the fish side is super cute. It goes with our theme. And if you missed it, all of these papers and embellishments, not this orange cardstock, but the other papers and embellishments came from the Serene collection from Creative Memories. All right, well now it's time for you to grab your little foam circle and your chalking pen again. And we are going to, instead of stamping in, again, I apologize that if there's background noise that I'm in Panera. In Lumberton, North Carolina, far away from home at this moment. Okay, so you're gonna actually just color onto this foam pad. All right, and just like we've been doing the last couple months, you're gonna color on there, and then you're going to fold it into a taco, and we're gonna do the same thing that we have with our other chalking inks. So this is something that you can do with any of your kind of wider tipped Creative Memories pens, just as a side note. Now, I went a little heavy in this corner. I like to start in the corner and then move to the outside. And if you get a little light, then you can come back and add some more color to it. So just color on there and then taco. And go all the way around. I mean, I don't know that this square is even necessary really in the design of this card, but I really like the way it looked with this chalking ink. And it was the inside of the Polaroid, so I figured why not? Because I had to die cut it out and I wanted to incorporate it into one of the designs. So after you've kind of gone around with your taco, you're going to mount that right in the center of the card. And it looks a little funny before you add everything else on. But you'll want to just trust me and go with it. Now, the trickiest thing about this card are these fish, because they are definitely all swimming to the left, but it is easy to get them upside down because because of their shape. So one of them, the smaller one, is going to go on the right side, and the bigger one is going to go on this left side over here. Now, oh, thanks for that, Stacy. Hopefully you have a little pair of scissors. I like to trim off this little white edge, and of course that is in my basic kit in the car. I thought I had pulled everything I needed, but alas, I did not. All right, so I'm just going to kind of fold that under for now. But I don't know if you can see the way the chalking ink looks when it dries. It definitely has like a milky kind of look when it dries. And now I'm just kind of going to go around these fish pieces too. I even did the goldfish, the orange fish. Yeah, I'm sure they are, Rosie. I'm sure I just heard somebody like shush their kid, and I know it wasn't because I'm in. but it made me kind of laugh. I think they were just in general shushing their kid. And I didn't go back and re-ink this. I'm kind of just using what was on the ink pad just so that it's kind of light. And in this day and age, I don't know. I think people are used to art, you know, the curious and odd things as we're out and about. I'm just a curious oddity at this Lumberton Panera tonight. Aww. Because I couldn't cut off my edge, I'm kind of just hooking it around. And I'm just going to stick these on. Oh, you're welcome, Anita. Yeah, it's kind of the theme this year. In every kit this year, you've gotten a pen or some ink or some kind of a tool, so that hopefully you can use that in your other creations. Now, up to you if you want to add some blue to this sentiment. I did not, and I did not lift anything on this card. So I'm going to go ahead and add these two pieces on flat. And our little fish, I mean, he might be fun to pop up if you want. I'm just going to kind of overlap him up here toward the top. And then, of course, we'll add on our sentiments. Now this one, our sentiments, our sequins. This one, the teal is what we're using. Some of you, I think, like to save all your bling to the end and do your own thing, which is totally awesome and cool. And so you can kind of play with your placement of your sequins. I feel like something needs to go there. And let me see if I can get this to come out. Hi, Vicki. Hope all is well at your house. Good to see you on here. I don't remember where I had this. I think there. I'll stick these other ones on when I get to my precision point adhesive. All right. And that's 3 cards. We're in the home stretch now. The last 2 cards are really fun. All right, so this is going to be our next card. And just 2 more. Not to rush things. All right, so this little piece, this little stack is kind of short. It's going to look off, but it's another little fun fold card. So you should have a blue piece of cardstock, not this. I lost a card kit and I had to freak out and piece together a card kit, which is what I'm using. And then of course the card kit I was missing reappeared, but as these things do. So yours would be a plain blue cardstock like the other blue squares that you have. And then you should have 3 white squares. And then a piece of water paper, which has these little rainbows on the other side. And you may decide you want to use those squares instead. I always love seeing your posted pictures of your card kits because they're usually different than mine in little ways. All right, so inside it says you are fantastic. There's it is scored, so you're going to want to fold on the score, and that sentiment's going to get covered. Now, before we go any further, on this card, we are going to use both techniques with the chalking pen. So we're going to use this technique, and we're going to do our dashes. I realized I didn't dash dot on this one. I just dashed. So I'm going to load up my taco, and I went all the way around. So you can do that kind of together, or open it up and do it that way, whatever way you want to do it. And then again, I kind of start the corner and go out from there. And I love when my card making is off camera. Sorry about that. Now, August, where will I be? Well, 30 days. Is August? Oh, August 23rd, which is the primary elections in Florida, will be Let's Taco About It with Debbie Keith. She is on a cruise to Alaska right now, or in Canada right now, getting ready to board a cruise to Alaska, or maybe she's on her way home because I've been gone for a week. She might be headed home. But anyway, most of you, if you've been to my in-person events, then likely you have met Debbie Keith, and she has been to more of my retreats than anyone else. And so on months where I have 5 Tuesdays, I do something called Let's Taco About It. So in May, I interviewed Kirsten, and we talked about the Cannonballs for Cane Foundation, because it's Brain Tumor Awareness Month. And in my first one, I talked to Trish, and she's an advisor in Canada. And so what I like to do is I like for you guys to hear how people, scrapbook, what their process is. And so that's what we're going to do this month. We're going to talk to Debbie on the 23rd. And then the 30th will be our card class. And I just realized I will likely not be home again. My goodness. Because I have to drive April to New York that weekend from Florida. And so I will probably be driving home on Tuesday. I might have to stop here. My dad just suggested that I stop here. But I'll just have to see where I am. All right. So after you go do your chalking, and thank you, Stacy. I do think that the chalking makes a big difference instead of just a flat white. So these two pieces get layered together on this little side piece. And I will stick those together. I'm going to center this on here. And this is another, like the first one with the turtle. This is just a simple, different fold. Sometimes I just like to throw in something a little different. So these little white squares, it's not like the other card, but I did cut these white squares from this piece. All right. So this part, this big square is actually going to go underneath. It's going to attach to the underneath. I'm just going to show you first. And then these pieces are going to go on top. And you notice they don't go all the way to the top or the bottom. All right. And then our even though there isn't a bigger square, you can see how that just fits. It's sort of an optical illusion. We don't need the bigger one. All right, so that is how those are going to get assembled. Then, of course, we're going to pop our fish over the top, so it's going to hide this area. So before I stick everything down, well, we can stick this down. So on your big square, you don't want to do the whole thing, right? Because half of this triangle is sticking out. But you want it to be in the middle, and you want it to go right on those little points. Okay? And then we are going to, I'm going to go around on these. And I'm just going to do dashes with the thin side. This water paper I love, by the way. And I've said it before with the Serene collection, and thanks Stacy for posting that link in the comments. But there's not that many, like, if there's a beachy collection, I feel like it's very beachy. This is very lake slash ocean slash pool. I mean, maybe less on the pool side, but I love this water paper. To me, that'd be great for a pool page. And obviously, I'm talking to the scrapbookers in the bunch. And I did mention that the buy get promo, right? You cannot buy the punches. It's an Adirondack chair punch, beer, like mug punch, a grape leaves punch, and what's the last paper punch? Grape leaves. Oh, the fishing. The Real Good Time bundle. So again, on these, as I stop talking about the bundles, you want to just do half so that you can attach. And again, the center line lines up with this flap. And let me not talk and put adhesive all over the place. So that promotion goes till Friday at noon. So if you're interested in that promotion, you want to do it before noon on Friday. And for those of you digital scrapbookers on here right now, there is a promotion for you as well. If you buy, I believe it's $30 in digital. Wow. Sorry about that. I don't have little dancing men like Stacy and Tracy. Stacy is totally correct, except, yeah, it wasn't a phone call. It was like a notification from an app on my phone, which totally just crashed Safari. Goodness gracious. You can't make this up. All right. I think we're back. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, good. Back to what we're doing. Now I'm loud again. What's happening? Be quiet. All right. Gremlins for sure, Stacy. You know how those gremlins are. Always at the worst time. Okay. Now I just attached this and now I can't get my little square under here. You see me struggling and pushing this card off camera. Should have definitely attached to those before. Don't you love when you're right up with me? Although some of you maybe have learned, you're like, it's okay to do the replay because you by default avoid some pitfalls. All right, so I did lift up this little angelfish, and so I'm going to lift up the angelfish. And I'm sorry if you're just jumping on. I am, if you haven't heard, at a Panera, so if there's some background noise. All right, so my little fish is going on there. Of course, on the inside, we have "You Are Fantastic." That'd be a fun thank you card or a congratulations, child that does good at school or something, or somebody gets a promotion. So you can kind of add these however you like. You can see I did something different with these than I did in my original. Oh, I'm going to need that little orange guy. And I don't have my precision point adhesive, so let me see. I'm not going to struggle with this. Oh, I got off some adhesive. That's good. Can add that. All right. And that fun card is done. And we just have one more to do. And it's a fun one. You can put this over to the side. I'll add my sequins later. All right, so now we do have a thank you, and that is how we will end our time together tonight. All right, now this will have a hole in it. We all have holes because you're going to use the part that was punched out. And hopefully you also have a larger white circle, which I think I explained that this was a cobbled together kit. I'm missing my white circle. Hopefully none of you are missing your white circle. All right, so we're going to fold up our base, and then this piece goes on here. Now I did suggest you have a trimmer. This is going to go edge to edge, and you're going to want to trim off from the embossing folder these little edges. Okay. So of course, my trimmer is also in the car. So I'm not going to attach mine down, but you should go ahead and trim it and attach. And then you're going to take your orange piece. And you should have no problem covering up the, especially after you trim, covering up the hole. And you're probably going to want to use the orange side up because the back side is a cut apart, and so it's going to look a little funny. And then we're going to add this piece on top, which is the net. It has like a net print. Hold on, I can add a white circle to this tip later. I'm going to dig in here. Grab that. All right. So now we're going to add this white circle and your embossed teal circle that was cut out of the underside, the background piece. You're going to put those together. Now I did not pop up any of these pieces, and I kind of left the corner of this exposed, but that's up to you if you want to go ahead and cover this whole bottom corner or if you want to leave the background exposed. Then of course you've got your crane, no, heron. It's a heron, I think. And we're going to add our cattails. He's just hanging out in the cattails. And then we've got our thank you, which I was thinking, oh, well, this is impossible. I can't do that without my precision point, but I can with my repositionable on the thank you for sure. Okay. So we can add those in. And I just kind of have this heron not all the way through, although you could extend him through to the bottom. Remember, my piece is not attached. I'm going to have to wait till I get to my trimmer. Goodness. How long have I been doing online guard classes? Since March 2020. And yet, each one has its own excitement. Like forgetting things. Alright, so I'm using the repositionable tape. For those of you that aren't familiar with Creative Memories adhesive, this is tiny little dots of adhesive. I always liken it to a Xyron type adhesive because it's meant to just attach to the paper, and so I'm able to stick this and not wait for the precision point. Normally I would just go ahead and use precision point adhesive, but alright. Alright. Now that I've got my thank you on here, people rolling carts around. Alright. And add these orange sequins wherever you like. Oh, well, thanks for the update, Vicki. God bless you both. Is there feedback? I feel like there's feedback. he has to feedback. It's so weird that it all of a sudden just started. But thank goodness it wasn't on earlier. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for herons. All right. Am I still here? Hopefully you can still hear me. Well, thanks, Marty. That's saying something. I'd like to say it isn't always this crazy, but you know, all of our lives are a little crazy and unpredictable. But I definitely try not to, you know, leave y'all hanging, even if it means pulling over to Panera. So I'm really glad that you joined us, Marty. All right. Well, that is that. Now, let me remove. Oh, goodness. All right. Let me remove this. I'm muted. Goodness. Sorry. Goodness. I think that was. All right. So I will. I tried to get to the. Okay. Thanks. I tried to get to the StreamYard giveaway page, which you would think I could get to it from this part. And on my computer, it's saved, but it is not saved on here, so I cannot get to it. But if you shared, you will be entered to win, and I will do that immediately. I'm sorry that we won't be able to do it live so that we can all say yay for the winner. But you will win. You will win $10 off your next order. And I hope you had a fun time tonight.
I had a blast.
My dad had a blast. I hear Dad. Hold on, let me switch to the back camera. You can wave to everyone.
I had a great time tonight.
Yeah. Oh, he's a trooper. So, hopefully you saw that. And, oh, good, you did. Yes, everyone says hello, Dad.
Okay, good.
I'm sure you'll see him again next week because
Maybe.
he's going to be at our house for a couple weeks. He said maybe he's leaving early.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, that's great. Okay, well, that is all for tonight, and I will post our winner in the chat immediately following. So thank you all for being on today and for putting up with the Hot Mess Express. And until I see you again, stay scrappy, my friends. Bye-bye.